Hello, everyone. Welcome back to today's story. In this episode, we follow Alex as he faces one of the darkest moments of his life. After a devastating storm tears through his land, the grapefruit grove he spent years building now lies in ruins, flooded and seemingly beyond repair. The loss leaves him heartbroken and uncertain about what the future holds. But just as despair begins to take over, lytuna appears, not only bringing comfort, but also the strength and determination to rebuild from the ground up. Stay with us until the end to see how love, faith, and perseverance can breathe new life into even the most shattered dreams. And don't forget to subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Your support truly means the world to us. The morning after the storm feels strangely quiet, too quiet. The air is thick with the scent of wet earth, and the soft hum of water trickling through ditches fills the silence. Alex stands at the edge of what used to be his pride and joy, the grapefruit grove. Now, it's a field of wreckage. The trees that once shimmered under sunlight are half submerged, their roots drowned in muddy water. Fallen fruit float aimlessly, drifting with the current like tiny pieces of a broken dream. He takes a slow breath, the cold wind stinging his face. The storm had passed, but what it left behind was worse. Stillness, emptiness, and the sound of loss echoing through the valley. Ms. Lon approaches from behind, her rubber boots sloshing through the water. Her expression says everything before she even speaks. "Boss, the lower orchard is completely flooded. We've lost nearly all the fruit from those trees." Alex doesn't answer. His eyes stay fixed on the damaged grove. The thought of all the work, the long days, the early mornings, the promises he made to his workers, now swallowed by the storm, feels unbearable. He bends down, scooping up a grapefruit from the muddy water. It's soft and bruised, its skin peeling from the force of the rain. He wipes it clean with his sleeve, as if hoping to fix what's already ruined. But the fruit collapses in his hands, water seeping out. He drops it silently. Behind him, the workers stand in uneasy silence. No one knows what to say. Everyone looks to Alex, waiting for direction, for reassurance. But all he can feel is the crushing weight of helplessness. The next few hours blur into exhaustion. Alex helps clear debris, instructs the workers to move equipment to higher ground, and walks from section to section, inspecting the damage. Everywhere he looks, it's the same. Fallen branches, scattered fruit, and drowned saplings. Months of careful cultivation gone overnight. By noon, the rain begins again. Not the violent downpour from before, but a light drizzle that feels almost mocking. Alex stops near the fish pond, his boots sinking into the mud. The water is brown and murky. He calls out softly, almost to himself, "Come on, come up." But the surface remains still. No ripples, no movement. The fish, hundreds of them, are gone, washed away by the flood. His chest tightens as the realization sinks in. He kneels beside the pond, letting the rain soak his hair and clothes. For a long time, he just stays there, silent, staring into the water. In his mind, he sees the grove as it once was, lush, full of life, the leaves shimmering in sunlight. He remembers the laughter of his workers, the smell of ripening fruit, the sense of pride that used to fill him every morning. And now, there's only mud, ruin, and the hollow ache of loss. When he finally stands, he looks like a man aged years in a single night. "There's no point standing around," he mutters, voice raw. "We need to clean up." He grabs a bucket and a scrub brush, returning to the house. The kitchen floor is covered in a thin layer of mud, furniture displaced by the floodwater. He starts scrubbing, not thinking, not resting, just moving, as if cleaning could somehow erase the pain. Hours pass before he hears the sound of footsteps behind him. Turning, he sees Tuna standing at the doorway, holding a basket of food and wearing her familiar wide-brimmed hat. Her eyes immediately soften as she takes in the sight of him, soaked, weary, but still trying. "Alex," she says gently, setting the basket down. "You've been at it since dawn. You should rest." Alex shakes his head, his voice hollow. "There's no time. The grove's ruined. Even if we salvage a few, most are gone. And the pond, there's nothing left." Tuna steps closer, her tone steady but kind. "Then we start again, together." He laughs bitterly, eyes glancing up at her. "Start again? After this? You saw the grove. It's all underwater." She kneels beside him, her hand resting on his arm. "I did. And I also saw how hard you worked to build it. That kind of strength doesn't wash away so easily." Her words linger. For a moment, he doesn't speak. The rain taps gently against the roof, a rhythm to their silence. Finally, Alex lets out a long sigh, his shoulders slumping. I don't know where to start." "Then start small," Tuna replies softly. "We'll clear the debris, drain the water, save what trees we can. The rest we'll plant again, one at a time." He studies her face, the calm determination in her eyes. There's no pity, no empty comfort, just quiet faith, and somehow that faith steadies him. By evening, the two of them stand outside near the grove. The rain has stopped, replaced by a cool wind that carries the faint smell of wet soil and leaves. Tuna rolls up her sleeves and grabs a shovel. "Come on," she says with a faint smile. "If we dig a few drainage ditches tonight, the water might start receding by morning." Alex hesitates only a second before joining her. They work side by side, shoveling mud, carving small paths for the water to flow out. The ground is slippery, the task exhausting, but neither complains. Every shovel of earth feels like a small victory, a step away from despair. At one point, Tuna stops to catch her breath, wiping sweat from her brow. "You know," she says with a tired laugh, "this reminds me of the old days, back when my father used to fix the rice fields after the floods." Alex chuckles quietly, the sound rusty from disuse. "Didn't think I'd ever be doing the same thing with grapefruits. Life's funny like that," she grins. "It takes things away, but gives you chances to build new ones." By nightfall, they've made real progress. The water level in some areas has started to drop. As they stand together under the fading light, Alex glances toward the farmhouse. "Stay here tonight," he says quietly. "It's safer." Tuna nods, her eyes soft. "Only if you promise to rest." He gives a faint smile, the first genuine one all day. "Deal." Later, inside the small kitchen, Tuna prepares a simple meal, spring rolls and warm tomato soup. The air fills with the comforting aroma, and Alex sits quietly, watching her work. For the first time in days, the weight in his chest eases a little. When she sets the bowl in front of him, steam curling into the dim light, he murmurs, "It smells amazing." She smiles. "It's not much, but it'll help you sleep." He takes a bite, savoring the warmth. "It's perfect," he says softly, voice thick with gratitude. As they eat, their conversation drifts from the storm to plans for the coming days, to the villagers who might also need help. "If the rain stops tomorrow, I'll bring people to help drain the grove," Tuna says. "We'll make it through this, Alex." He looks at her across the table, her face lit by the flickering lamp. And for the first time since the storm, he feels something fragile yet powerful take root inside him: hope. When the night deepens, they step outside for a moment. The air is cool, the sky slowly clearing. Stars begin to pierce through the clouds, faint but real. Tuna looks up and whispers, "See? Even the sky's trying again." Alex follows her gaze, his eyes softening. "Yeah," he murmurs. "Maybe it is." Morning arrives with a faint mist curling over the grove. The storm has finally passed, leaving behind a silence that feels almost sacred. Dew clings to the leaves, and sunlight filters weakly through the drifting clouds. Alex steps out of Tuna's small farmhouse, stretching his aching arms. The air smells of damp earth and renewal, a faint whisper that not everything is lost. He walks toward the grapefruit grove. The water level has dropped slightly overnight, exposing patches of soggy soil. Some trees still stand strong, their leaves glistening with dew, while others lean dangerously, roots half exposed. The sight stirs a strange mix of pain and determination inside him. Tuna joins him, carrying 2 cups of warm ginger tea. "Here," she says, handing him one. "You'll need it before we start." He takes it, smiling faintly. "Thanks. You always seem to know what I need." She chuckles softly. "That's because you're easy to read, Alex. You look tough, but your face gives everything away." Her teasing lightens the air, and for the first time in days, Alex laughs. Quietly, but genuinely. They begin their work early, checking tree by tree. Tuna marks the ones that might still survive with a strip of red cloth, while Alex steadies those that lean too far. The mud sucks at their boots with every step, but they don't stop. Each movement carries purpose. The morning hums with the sounds of effort, shovels, splashing water, and the faint rustle of leaves trying to dry under the sun. By mid-morning, Ms. Lon arrives with several workers. Their faces are tired but hopeful. "Boss," she calls out, waving. "We've brought the pumps. We'll start draining from the east side first." Alex nods gratefully. "Good work, everyone. Let's get as much water out as possible today. The sooner we start, the more trees we can save." He glances at Tuna, who smiles encouragingly. "See? They haven't given up either," she says. "You've taught them to fight, even when things look impossible." The words sink deep. Alex looks around. The workers bent over in mud, hauling hoses and shovels, their laughter breaking through exhaustion. For a moment, the grove doesn't look like a place of ruin anymore. It feels alive again, pulsing with shared will. Hours pass, sweat mixes with dirt, and the sun climbs higher. They stop only when Tuna insists everyone eat. She opens the basket she brought from home. Rice balls, salted fish, and fresh vegetables. Everyone gathers around under a tree, sharing food and quiet conversation. Henry, nestled in a small carrier on Tuna's back, babbles softly, his small hands reaching for the sunlight. His laughter draws smiles from even the most exhausted faces. Alex watches, feeling something shift inside him. Maybe it isn't about what he's lost, but what still remains. The people beside him, the resilience that refuses to fade. After lunch, he walks with Tuna toward the upper grove, where the water is receding faster. The ground squishes beneath their boots, but patches of dry soil peek through. They pause near one of the oldest trees, its trunk battered but still upright. Alex runs his hand along the bark, his voice quiet. This one survived the last big storm too. My father planted it himself. Tuna tilts her head. Then it's proof, isn't it, that your family's roots are stronger than any flood. He looks at her, moved. You always know how to say the right thing. She smiles, her gaze steady. Not always, but when it comes to you, I just speak what I feel. A long silence follows, filled only by the chirping of birds returning after the storm. Alex glances toward the horizon, where sunlight finally breaks through fully, casting golden light over the drenched orchard. The scene is imperfect, muddy, scarred, and raw, but undeniably beautiful. Maybe this isn't the end, he murmurs. Maybe it's just a new beginning. Tuna nods. Exactly. We'll rebuild. I'll help however I can. He turns to her, eyes soft. You've already done more than I could ask for, Tuna. You came when I couldn't even think straight. You stayed when everything looked hopeless. She meets his gaze. That's what people do for each other when they care. The words linger in the air, gentle yet powerful. Alex feels warmth spread through him. Not just gratitude, but something deeper. He takes a slow breath, feeling the weight in his chest lighten. As afternoon fades, they move through the grove again, marking the surviving trees. The workers follow behind, cutting branches, gathering debris. Ms. Lan approaches, wiping sweat from her forehead. Boss, we'll save at least half the grove if the weather stays clear. Half. It's not much, but it's something. Alex nods, a small smile forming. That's enough to start again. By evening, the grove looks different. Still wounded, but no longer broken. The water has receded significantly, and the ground is beginning to firm up. When the last worker leaves, Alex and Tuna stay behind, walking quietly along the newly cleared paths. The air is cool now, tinted with the scent of wet grass. Tuna stops near a row of young trees, where a few green grapefruits still cling to the branches. Look, she says softly. They made it through. Alex steps closer, touching one gently. Stubborn little things, he says with a faint smile. Guess they take after their owner. Tuna laughs. Maybe, but I think they take after the person who refused to give up. As they walk back toward the farmhouse, twilight settles over the valley. Fireflies begin to flicker above the damp ground. Inside, Tuna lights the small oil lamp and places it on the table. The soft glow fills the room, wrapping them in a gentle warmth. Alex sits quietly, gazing at the lamp. You know, he begins, voice low. When I saw everything ruined, I thought it was over. I didn't even know how to start breathing again. Tuna sits across from him, her tone calm but firm. And yet here you are. You didn't run. You fought. He shakes his head slightly. I couldn't have done it alone. Her smile is tender. You never have to. The moment stretches. Simple, unspoken, yet full of meaning. The storm may have destroyed the grove, but it couldn't wash away what matters most. Outside, the wind stirs gently through the trees, carrying the faint scent of new blossoms. Life, fragile but persistent, is returning. Alex glances toward the window, his voice soft but resolute. Tomorrow, I'll meet the suppliers. We'll find out what we can salvage and what needs replanting. Tuna nods. I'll be there too. We'll make a plan. He smiles. Together? Together, she answers. They sit in companionable silence as the night deepens. The lamp flickers, its flame steady against the quiet dark. Like hope itself, small yet unyielding. For the first time since the flood, Alex feels certain of something. Storms may come and destroy everything, but with courage, faith, and the right person beside you, even the deepest waters can't wash away a dream.